Good evening and welcome to the hottest new sports show on internet radio, the Prak and Friends Radio Hour. I am Prakash. Thank you for joining us as always, and let me introduce you to the rest of the crew here. First off, we have my man, the myth, the legend himself, Dinesh. What's going on, Dinesh?
Hey, what's going on, Prakash? What's going on, everybody?
We're good, and we're happy to have you back on.
Greetings.
Greetings, of course, always salutations, whatever big words you want to use. Um, we have the man, the sports prophet of TikTok, Mr. Alexander. Alexander, what's going on, buddy?
Good evening, guys. Prakash, Danish, Rob. Glad to be a part of it. Week 10 in the books. Stay tuned. We're coming through with the fire.
Oh, the fire. I like that. I like that. And last but certainly not least, my main man, Rabindra. What's going on, Rabindra?
What's up, Prakash? Happy to be back this week. Sorry I missed you guys last week. I'm only sure it was a great show, though. I'm
It's
happy
okay.
to
It's okay.
do another.
Even NFL teams need a bye. So you had a bye
Yeah,
last week. You were on bye
yeah,
last week.
I'll take it. Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. You were like the Jets. Your
Yeah,
team, the Jets. You were on bye. Yeah.
basically, yeah. I was on by
Fresh
with the
and ready to
Jets.
go. Fresh and ready to
They
go.
Yeah,
they
I'm
work
their
in
fourth. I'm their fourth string kicker.
So we'll get into the Jet game. The one with the Patriots, big Patriot game. The Jets could be in first place by the end of the week, but that is we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But let's talk about Week 10 in the books, and you know I gotta say it, probably the game of the year, and that those aren't my words; those were the words of the broadcast commentators for the Bills and the Vikings. They're the Bills having a 24-10 lead at the half over the Vikings, end up losing in overtime 33-30, and you will see two of the greatest catches in that game that I think you'll ever see in the history of the NFL. Stephon Diggs made a one-handed grab, and Justin Jefferson made a one-handed grab. So this was, for the first half, it was the Bills dominating, and then in the second half, it was such a fight back and it was like a heavyweight fight, and Minnesota landed the knockout blow. But you got to talk about just the last few minutes of this game and what transpired with the Bills stopping Kirk Cousins and on what was that? It was a quarterback sneak. He got stuffed on fourth down. The Bills are now in the end zone, and the last thing they need to do, the last thing that they should have done, was fumble the ball in the end zone. And Josh Allen, guess what he does? Fumbles the ball in the end zone,
fumbles the ball in the end zone. Yep.
and the
Three
Vikings
lost
go
fumbles
ahead.
on the season. Sorry.
Yeah,
Three
no,
lost
no,
fumbles on the season.
Like that, and I said this, and I think I said it at the beginning of the season. Yes, the Bills are a good team. I probably actually said this a couple of weeks ago, but they look rattled. They have a superior defense, and you let Kirk, maybe sometime prime time Cousins, 52 gold chains around his neck, drop bombs on you, right? It was like a back and forth shootout. And you have a top tier defense and you let this happen? Yeah, that was wild to me. It was a wild game.
yeah. Oh my, it was definitely. I mean, the Bills were held to 3 points in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that. I mean, that put up 24, and it made it look so easy. 24 points in the first half. You're watching me. I was watching this game. I ended up, I'm like, oh, this game is over. So I actually flipped over to the CFL Eastern Conference Finals, but we'll talk about that later. Um, I flipped over. I was flipping between that and the Giant game, and then next thing I know, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then you have to watch the last few minutes of the game, and it's like the Bills. I mean, I feel sorry for them. They have problems closing out. Apparently, I mean, they're
They
in a two.
do.
Yeah,
But it's like, who do we blame at this point? Right? Because again, I think I spoke about this with Rob. Their problem is they don't like run the ball enough. You have a high powered offense. I get it. You want to like throw 60 times against the defense, but run the ball, get it going. Unless, I mean, maybe I missed parts of the game where that's what they were trying to do. Excuse me, but get your running game going so you chew up clock, so you're not giving back the team the other ball, and they can come back against your weak the defense. If your defense is this susceptible, right? Have some good clock management because again, second half. What did you say? They scored 3 points in the second half. That's that's insane for a high powered offense like that. Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Okay,
Sorry,
well,
six. They scored 6 points. Apologize, 6 points. Two
Okay,
field goals. Two field goals. Yes, sorry about that.
that doesn't help.
Yeah.
so I'm going to add something to that real quick. They actually outrushed the Vikings. Total team for the Bills 175, for the Vikings 147. Dalvin Cook 14 carries, 119 yards, one touchdown. But the
Mm.
problem is that Josh Allen led the Bills
Yeah, in
carries for
the
84
rushing attack.
yards.
Yeah.
And let's face it, his two interceptions at the end of the day, this is a team loss, which sadly
True.
has to fall on Josh Allen, who now has 10 INTs on the season.
Yeah.
I think that leads the league if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Like, I don't want to question like his abilities. I think Josh Allen is still a great quarterback, but at the beginning of the season, we were talking about how the guy's an MVP candidate, and then these last 3 or 4 games, he's slowly unraveling, and I don't know why, right? I can't tell you, or I can't pinpoint to be like where he's making the mistakes because because it's like you still have great guys on the outside. You run a game, yes, your running game may not be the best. Josh Allen is doing all of it on his own. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe he feels once the pocket collapses, I gotta like take off or I gotta make the play. Maybe he's playing hero ball. I don't know.
I mean, to be honest with you, we could just blame the damn Bills defense too. They got
Mhm.
Von Miller. At the end of the day, you allowed Kirk Cousins to come back. And again, with all due respect to the 8-1 record of the Vikings, we talked about it the last episode. 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins, 1-3 in the playoffs. I believe 2-9 in primetime games. I'm still not going to buy the Vikings. I can't. I can't.
Yeah,
I won't.
I agree with you. Listen,
When has Kirk Cousins ever played with a better offensive team?
It would be
With
since he got there,
Dalvin Cook,
actually. Since he
Dalvin
got there.
Cook, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, whoever
Mark
else is at the two,
Andrews,
but they also have Hawkinson, right? They just went and got
Hawkinson. No,
Hawkinson
sorry,
after
not
not having after losing their tight end before. But Hawkinson is an upgrade.
yeah.
So now let's talk about the team that Kirk Cousins has to throw to. Because even when he was in Washington and they tried to like sign him and believe in him, I don't think his team was like this good at any point. Was it?
No, but
All
he's
right,
had
that's a big difference though, because if this is the best team he's playing with right now, and as well as they just got compiled, I can see why maybe the Bills might have had a little trouble on defense. This is
but
probably one of the better offenses they come to compiled against this
yeah,
far. This far,
but to say Kirk, this is one of the best Kirk Cousins team. I will say yes, but not by like a lot. Because the only thing better that he's had than before is Hawkinson.
I mean,
He's always
we
had
gotta look. We gotta look because, like I said, I can't say off the top of my head who he had in Washington, but I highly doubt he had a better team in Minnesota than he has right now. That's for
no,
sure.
no. What
So
I'm agreeing with you.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is the difference isn't that much. Hawkinson, yes, I
if
will
you
say
don't know the
Hawkinson is
team, how can you say the difference isn't that much? That's kind of
no.
crazy,
Well,
bro.
the teams before that he had in Minnesota, he still had Thielen, but instead of Jefferson, who's well an absolute animal, he had
Mm.
Stephon Diggs. Right? They had amazing wide receivers, and you still had Dalvin
Yeah,
Cook.
but plus Hawkinson, he didn't have who's his tight end then. I think it was like Irv Smith or something,
No,
like I don't, or like
I
maybe
think
Conklin. So at the
he
end of
had
the day,
Kyle Rudolph, if I'm not
or
mistaken.
Kyle Rudolph.
yeah, Kyle
Yes,
Rudolph.
sorry,
Yeah.
Kyle
Kyle
Rudolph
Rudolph. Rudolph
was
is not
really
a
good.
top tier. He's not a top tier. Like he's not like having like like Kelsey, bro. No, but I mean he's a decent. He was a decent tight end.
Right.
This compilation here really isn't bad. He still has Thielen, and he has Justin Jefferson, and he has Dalvin Cook, and he has
Yeah.
T.J. Hawkinson. This is probably the best team he's played with. If you really think about, it. We should do the somebody should be doing the research right now to see what the
but that
other team was.
I'm not comparing Washington. This may be like, yeah, I agree with you. Maybe the best team, but again, I don't think it's there by a long shot. The only major upgrade, but and again, Kyle Rudolph was really good. I don't think it's that huge of a gap to where it's like, okay, well, yeah, they're undefeatable. He's actually had better defenses in the past, also, right? The defense,
He doesn't always have four strong options, bro. So I hear your fluff because you're fluffing
no,
about it being maybe because you don't know what that last team was. I hear you. I don't even know what that last team is either. But you can't say it's not by a lot. I bring it up because this is we could all easily say this is the best team he's had. And therefore you gotta take that into consideration because you all like to, trash a guy. Let's be honest, if this is the best team he has, he could be a lot better than we all might thought. Like
but then,
right
but
now.
then, but then,
You
what
know?
does that say, right? Like he needs elite players at every position to
Bro,
win.
he's a quarterback. Like Tom Brady would kill. Obviously, if he has all these elite players, even though he went undefeated and lost with Moss. But
Yeah,
still,
but Tom Brady's done more with less.
I hear you. But I mean, I bring it up because I take into consideration because even when I saw, I'll be real. I didn't get to watch the game, but what I did, do was at least look at it in a sense from like fantasy and like just matchup beforehand. And yeah, I knew this would be a tough game for Buffalo, especially since
Yeah.
you said already that they already have a problem closing out. So I'm
Hmm.
not surprised, period, that they
Yeah,
lost the game, right?
I
But
actually
then
picked the Vikings to
like
win. Yeah.
nice, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So like, I'm not even surprised that they lost the game, and more so. Besides even that, that's why I bring it up in terms of the offense because yes, they got a great defense, but this offense technically just got compiled when you involve Hawkinson. Again, Hawkinson is way better than Kyle Rudolph or anybody who's thrown to in the last few years. Way better. I wouldn't say it's a little bit better. Way better. You
I mean,
know.
Oh,
I could see that. I just feel that still he's thrown to Kyle Rudolph, who wasn't a scrub, and he was thrown to Stephon Diggs, and he was thrown to Thielen,
I mean,
right?
Rudolph
Like,
wasn't a scrub, but if Kirk Cousins got hurt or if there was some other quarterback there, I guarantee you Kyle Rudolph was not used in fantasy or in general just be productive. You might be saying that. So like that had to do, like Kirk Cousins is not this horrid QB. He's a decent QB, and especially if you give him like pieces like this, then this is where he could easily flourish.
I mean,
Like that's
anyone
just
could
what I'm
flourish
saying.
in there. Anyone
well,
with
Nah,
what they
I
have.
also I
Mark
also
Sanchez
think
wouldn't.
there's a Green Bay factor as well because Green Bay was really good before
Yeah,
this year. So
yeah.
you know there was a
And
lot of talent last year. Green Bay, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. I think like you're
Well, yeah,
saying,
if it's a weak division,
yeah.
that's big because I mean, look at Tampa. Tampa's like 5-5 now, and they still are atop the division. They're still gonna be good.
and,
Watch.
and Kyle Rudolph, because I'm looking at it right. I'm doing the research. Kyle Rudolph was actually selected to the Pro Bowl, first team All Pro.
Okay, well, who's throw to him? Kirk Cousins.
For
So,
Cousins, right?
like, I
But
mean, I'm just saying either he was probably he was a Pro Bowler 1 year. I doubt it was 2 years. Was it just 1 year?
I'm
Was it
not
just one
sure. No,
year?
two time Pro Bowler.
Okay, all right. I'll give him
Yeah.
credit. My bad, Kyle. But either way, I'm seeing talent level. I just still personally believe Hawkinson's better.
No,
He probably got it. Tight ends got a block too. I'm talking about the
yeah,
catching threat. I'm talking about the passing threat. Hawkins is way better, bigger of a passing threat. Like
absolutely. I
yeah,
don't disagree. But
yeah,
again, my thing is they're a good team. I They can go far, but it's the inconsistency of Kirk Cousins. But they are showing that they can win these games. They can
yeah.
duke it out and they can
Well,
battle,
I
right?
think I don't know how you guys saw, but I had two in watching this game. I was like, oh well, okay, they're gonna be 7-2, but their two losses were gonna be to Philly and Buffalo, two teams that are you know could be Super Bowl contenders. And then for them to pull this game out to go into a hostile environment in
Hmm.
Orchard Park, New York, Western New York, and where their fans are crazy. The Bills Mafia likes to jump through tables.
and
For
set
them to
fire.
go into
You saying the Bills fans are like the Hardy Boys? It's like a TLC match in the stadium every time.
no, yeah, if you watch their tailgates, watch their tailgates, watch their tailgates. the Bills Mafia. They jumped 2 tables. So yeah,
they get all upstate, bro. Trust me.
yeah,
Oh my
Uh, uh,
god.
It's
uh,
insane.
yeah, but for them to go into this environment in a hostile environment like Buffalo, Orchard Park, whatever you want to call it. Well, you call it Orchard Park, 'cause that's where they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Orchard Park.
Yeah. So to go for Minnesota to go into that environment and then pull out a win after being down 14 at the half.
It's incredible.
I mean you got to look at
Yep.
the Vikings a little bit differently now. Maybe 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Kirk, excuse me, 1 o'clock Kirk. Maybe this is the statement win. This is their statement
Yeah.
win, and they're maybe now the front runners in the NFC.
I agree because but again, I think the problem is, and I think I've said this before. I think the problem is we don't have a definite like juggernaut team. All the teams are good. Eagles are good. Vikings are good. Bills, I'm a little worried about because they're reeling. Chiefs are good, but there is no definite like that's the team to watch out for. And maybe you're right. Maybe Vikings are solidifying their spot to be like we're a force to be reckoned with. I mean, we got to continue to watch. They've done very well for themselves. I'll have to admit that.
Well, you guys have any last thoughts on this game before we move
Mm,
on to another overtime thriller?
mm-mm.
Nope.
Yeah, I
Like the
mean,
cheese there. Yeah.
yeah, we can move on.
Okay, well, Vikings Bills went to overtime, 33-30 final score. But there was another overtime game, the 4 o'clock Fox game. So Fox had two really good games
Hmm.
back to back for the country. Um, the first one, obviously, the Vikings and the Bills. Then you had the Dallas Cowboys heading to Lambeau Field
Yeah.
to take on the reeling Green Bay Packers, who had lost 5 in a row.
Hmm.
And the Cowboys, well, the Cowboys, I can't, I'll be honest with you, maybe I just can't remember, but I can't remember this recent Cowboy team beating the Packers.
No, we
I
haven't.
can't think of any game.
The thing about this game, and they were doing so well. I watched it, and they were moving the ball. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, things just went the opposite way, right? And I just don't want to blame officiating, but there were some very key plays where Dallas was moving the ball, and they're like, "No, bring it back." I'm like, "Okay, fine." And I bring that up because there's been games throughout this week and even weeks before where there's just been blatant calls just missed or not even called, right? Um, and we could discuss them later. But Mike McCarthy should have kicked the field goal. I also
Yeah.
felt
Hmm.
like going for it, but kick the field goal. Believe in your defense to stop them, right? Don't trust Aaron Rodgers to not be able to go down the field and maybe score. If you to get a field goal, hey, at least you got points on the board. You can come back down. Your offense was doing well. Your run game was very solid. Uh, it's a blunder, and he keeps doing these things over and over throughout the years that he's been there.
Blanda.
Okay, can
Oh,
I step up to the pulpit to say some things real quick?
yes. Go
All
ahead.
right,
Yes.
here we go. Dallas Cowboys entering the fourth quarter up by 14 points, 195 and 0, including playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Overtime loss. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers had lost 5 in a row. All the Cowboys had to do was put the nail in the coffin. But now you have to label the Cowboys as pretenders, not contenders. Christian Watson counting in the end zone, 3 touchdown catches of 58, 39, and 7 yards. 4 catches, 107 yards. Dallas Cowboys defense got burned at the end of the day, and they wasted a supreme effort by Dak Prescott, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, but sadly 2 INTs. Tony
Yep.
Pollard, 22 carries, 115 yards, a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 11 catches, 150, 2 touchdowns. All wasted because Mike McCarthy is an idiot. I'm done.
Well, I can't. after one game like this, like I'm not gonna say they're pretenders. I think that's a little harsh, even for me. Yes, I know it's my team, but like one game, you want to call it pretenders? Like
195-0. Did we miss that part? Went up by
I,
14 or more. 195 wins, 0 losses
you
until
ever
Sunday.
I mean, I
you,
ain't gonna lie. When I hear that, that means they're due for a loss. So
exactly. Anytime those stats come
it's
up,
basically
you're
like
bound to
you're
like
basically,
get
you're basically
one.
telling me. Like, I mean, I hear it. Like I hear
Yeah.
it, but in a sense, and don't get me wrong. Either way, there was a blunder. There was a blunder.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
blunder aside, I guess averages average out there. I'm not even gonna be mad. More than anything, yeah, I definitely wouldn't say they're pretenders too. I'll go with Dinesh there on that as well. But
But the pretenders part
they just
though.
gave it up.
But the
They gave it up.
pretenders part is that you lost to a team that had lost 5 straight. Listen, the
I mean, and
Lions
then,
beat
and then there we
Aaron
go. We
Rodgers. The
lost.
Lions.
Okay,
But
five. Okay,
but
so that also means that they were due for a win. Like, you know what I mean?
right,
Like,
you
I mean,
lost
come on.
five. You're due for.
Are we
But,
gonna expect them to? Are we gonna just keep trampling on them while they're down? I would only hope that they do something and
so,
pull out
so
something out their ass.
with your logic, right?
Yeah,
Would we call the Eagles pretenders because they lost to the
yeah,
Commanders? They
basically.
lost to Heineke.
Now they're not undefeated no more, boy.
No, because the Eagles got jobbed as again the recurring theme in this episode is terrible NFL officiating.
Well,
Hmm.
yes, but then that's the thing. If we're using that, you can't just say the Cowboys are pretenders because they could have won that game. They were marching down the field to like kill the clock, and there was just two bad plays back to back, two bad
Blunder,
missed calls,
blunder, blunder.
right? But again, a win is a win. I'm not gonna debate it saying, "Oh, shoulda, woulda." No, we lost. That's it. We should have kicked the field goal again, but no, we lost.
Trying to be like John Harbaugh.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was upsetting to watch. I saw Aaron Rodgers come back, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? Because there were so many things. Like even I think there was an offensive PI, and then there was a grab. It wasn't even like a hold or something slight. It was just a hold and no call. Okay, no problem. Keep going, I guess. The officiating, I think, has been so bad, and it's been such a theme this season that it makes some of the games unbearable because they change the outcome of the game.
Mm-hmm. Really
Because
do.
the NFL refs, they're narcissistic, egomaniacs. They want the game to be about them. Listen,
You
you can laugh.
you could be right.
I've
You
seen
could be
too
right.
many games that when a team starts to blow the lead, the referees don't seem interested in helping.
Yeah.
Like they just
Mhm.
start not seeing ish anymore. Like, come on, man.
Like another thing is too, right? And this week was wild. Last week was wild too. I mean, what if this is all set up? Because people have been saying the NFL is rigged, and it's the same thing. Like the Seahawks Buccaneers game was so dry and so bland, and then all of a sudden, again, third, fourth quarter, here we go, we ramping it up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What's happening?
Give them what
Oh,
they
the
paid
Seahawks.
for.
What's that?
Give them what they paid for.
Exactly, exactly. And that if that's what's happening, that kind of like ruins watching football. And again, it hasn't been enjoyable for me because I'm watching it, and the same thing in the Dallas Cowboys game, the Dallas Cowboys and Packers game. Last quarter, guess what? Aaron Rodgers makes a heroic return, beats the Cowboys in overtime. The headlines sell themselves, and then what do? You start questioning the Cowboys. It's nonsense, right? Same thing, Vikings and Packers and Bills. Vikings are down 2 touchdowns as well. Bills just go scoreless in the second half. Not scoreless. They score 6 points, but it's like their offense was anemic. Hey, Vikings come rampaging back, beat Bills in overtime. It's the same narrative. It's just ridiculous at this point. They're becoming like the NBA. Like the NBA, you could be up by like 30 and no lead is safe because guys are just coming back with authority. I hate that.
No, don't even get me. I'm not even.
No, say
I'm
it,
not even.
because
No, no, no.
oh. Well, since we're on officiating, we might as well just jump to the Monday night game.
oh, jeez.
The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders, and Philly gets their first loss of the season. They're now 8-1, and look out for Taylor Heineke and those Commanders.
Hey,
The
that
Yeah,
was a
legend.
that was a game. They put Hurts in like a lot of confusion. They trapped him. They did a lot of contain on him. I was surprised that defense was moving fluid, and they kept the receivers in check, which was the big thing.
I mean, let's get to the fourth quarter though of that game.
Oh, the
Yeah,
stupidity.
the officiating. That's the one game where I had to question the officiating
Hmm.
of some non calls.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah. Again, there was like the offensive PI where the guy was just he was running his route, and they called offensive PI because he ran into the corner. He didn't do anything. He was running his route, and he didn't try to block him. He tried to get out of the way. No, whatever. And then the fumble, the face mask miss on
yeah.
the other tight end.
I
I
mean the
can't remember
face.
his.
I mean the face. That was like so blatant. I mean,
Yeah,
I get. We don't have the camera angles, obviously that the ESPN would have, but it was like they mugged the tight end.
yeah,
It was like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
poking his eye and everything. It was like,
Let
And
me
then
tell
they
you,
poke the ball out, and then guess what
yeah.
that happens? It becomes a fumble. Like what? Come on, NFL, you got to change these things, man. You got to be better.
Maybe you guys know better about this more than we would have an answer. But if you're checking something and then you see something else, can you call it?
No, not in the NFL. In
Not in
the
the
NBA,
NFL. So
in the NBA, yes, I think you
okay,
can. You because you will just review the play and you'll make the
yeah,
right call. The
yeah.
NFL, whatever play is made on the field stands. It doesn't matter
I
what you
mean,
see.
yeah. But that was. I mean, not that I'm so heartbroken that Philly lost.
No,
You know, yeah,
but you want a fair game. That's how
yeah,
I am,
yeah.
right? If you're gonna call it one way, call it the other way.
here's my
And
thing. I
yeah,
real quick. Okay, I saw the play unfold. Right. The, I think his initials said BJ. I think it was the back judge or whoever. He was looking, man. From where he was
He was
looking.
looking.
He
He was
saw
looking
it.
directly at it. Yeah,
Look, look. This is all I'm going to say. Many years ago, when the NFL refs went on strike, they had replacement refs. People were so hot and heavy to bash the replacement refs, right? But at the end of the day, there's no difference between replacements and your regular NFL officials because they're both sets of human beings are incompetent.
yeah. And why not use the replay to be like, hey, the play is under review. Let's see. We'll make the right call and then overturn it. It's okay. I don't see what the problem is in any of this.
Bring in the robots. That's all I'll keep saying. Bring in the Listen, you got Sky Cam, you got cameras on the pylon. It is inexcusable. Or you know what? Allow coaches to give more challenges. Something's got to be
Yeah,
done.
and not like lose a timeout because those timeouts are valuable. Give them like three challenges to use, not use up a timeout. Like, why is this so complicated? That's why I kind of enjoy the NBA because they have that in place, right? And they use the system where they have a central review place in Secaucus, and they're like, okay, this is what happened. They see all angles, boom, make the right call, and it keeps the game clean. Yes, it may slow it down, but you want to see a fair game at the end of the day. At least I do. That's my opinion.
I mean, why can't they just have like the booth officials? If you see something that the field official misses, say, "Hey, we want to look at this," because I mean, it could impact. There's, hate to bring in the gambling part, but yeah, these betting sites are now partners
Yeah,
with the NFL and all these other sporting leagues. There's a lot of money riding on these games,
yeah.
Literally,
not just wins
literally.
and losses anymore.
Yeah, and that makes the narrative to be where they're just doing whatever they feel is right to help Vegas win, and and that's unfair in my opinion. Let the games be played. Stop writing scripts for them if that's what's going on.
I
And,
like
and
it.
I, I
Yeah, I like your
I like
collusion theory there.
yeah. Well, and I like your idea as well because it's like cricket, Brock, where you have the third
Yeah.
umpire, right?
Uh,
You have someone reviewing the footage right away in the booth, but it's also similar to like the NBA. The NBA is like, real time, really fast on everything, and they send replays and everything to the umpire that's there or the referee, and they like, okay, well, excuse me, this is the correct call. But yeah, have a third umpire like Fox and all these other channels. They have referee analysts looking at it, and they'll give you the right calls as well. Why not implement that into the game? Make
Yeah.
it that much better.
It's funny you mentioned cricket because that's how I started my Sunday at 3 a.m. watching Pakistan versus England in the
Oh
World Cup
wow!
final. Yeah, so I started at 3 a.m. and then I went back to bed for a few minutes. The Germany game,
And you got
and
to see
then
the Germany game.
I watched the two games on Sunday, the 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then I was like, should I watch this Sunday night? Watch a little bit of Sunday night game. I couldn't watch
Jeez,
any more sports for the rest of the day.
yeah, it was. That's a day full of
Yeah.
sports.
Congrats, England, for winning the World Cup. Let's see if your
Finally.
your soccer boys can win one now. Um, yeah. So talking about, let's get into the other games now that took place during Week 10. Let's go back a week ago, and we've been talking a lot about pretenders and contenders.
Mhm.
If there's a team that went from contender to pretender, it's the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, they're just all discombobulated. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know what to say about them. I just feel they're a mid level team, and they're just gonna do what they can to make it happen. If they don't make it happen, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, did anybody really think anybody but the Bucks was winning this division? I mean,
I thought it may be different because you
No.
know what is troubling to me, right? If the Bucks win and they go to the playoffs, they're gonna face either Dallas or the Giants in the first round. They're gonna probably smack the shit out of either one of those. Sorry, right? They're gonna beat either one of those teams, and then in the second round, who are they gonna get? Maybe, well, the Vikings maybe one or two or whatever. They're gonna play Philly or the Vikings. They're gonna beat either one of those teams. Neither one of those teams have any proven like fortitude in the playoffs. And then Tom Brady's just gonna make his way to the Super Bowl again. And I don't want to see that. That's what I'm afraid of.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing them lose, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. If you got
but
there,
that's the thought because everything is so vulnerable, right? The NFC East teams, they're good, right? All four of them can make the playoffs right now, which is amazing. But if you go up against Tom Brady, you have a possibility of getting smacked. He may turn it up.
oh, I mean, just to put a bow, what is it, a bow tie on the Falcons and the Panthers game. I mean, another Thursday night doozy.
Thanks a lot, Mariota.
Mm.
should that shouldn't even have been on airtime
Yeah, like
with
that. That
Amazon
should,
and their
yeah.
3G Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, we got a decent game this week, but I mean, it's just like you paid how much for these games? And you're getting, Falcons,
Yeah,
Panthers. I mean, come on.
bottom of the barrel. Like who?
Yeah.
There was no way we thought the Panthers or the Falcons were going to be good this year. And you're like, yeah, here's a primetime game. What?
Like,
And you bought this? You were like, yeah, that's a good game, guys. We want that one. What?
I mean, I mean, thank God they can start. I don't know if they can't flex in like Thursday night games, but they're gonna flex in the Sunday night games
Yeah.
starting in week 11. So those games haven't been terrible, but these Thursday night games, man, oh man, like
You don't care to watch them,
yeah.
honestly.
I mean, who was watching? I was like, I mean, honestly, you should be listening to us
Yeah,
Thursday.
Basically,
honestly.
Yeah,
Basically,
Honestly.
instead
there
instead
it
of
is.
watching these
yeah,
games.
you're
Yeah,
better off.
you better off.
I like the unison. I like how
Yeah.
we're all like, yeah,
We're all in.
Yeah.
we kind of all realize it together. Like, yeah, we're kind of better than watching that. Yeah, that
Eh.
makes sense. The logic is logic.
So Panthers beat the Falcons, and Falcons, put them just as pretenders. They're just pretenders. They were
Yeah.
close because Tampa Bay couldn't get their act together. But moving into the Germany game now, the Seahawks, and this was counted as a home game for the Buccaneers. But seems like the Buccaneers are getting their act together. Tom Brady with a
I would. I
with a
wouldn't
win.
say. I wouldn't say all of that. I think. I just think it was a bad game for the Seahawks. They could have done better, but again, it's Tom Brady.
Bro, we're talking about the Seahawks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Like
Oh
are
I
you
yeah.
don't.
kidding me,
They're
bro?
not like
Like
some opposing
I
force.
wouldn't even, but I wouldn't even say that. Why would we even say it was a bad game? I mean, even a good game from the Seahawks, Tampa Bay could still win, in my opinion. We
Oh,
forget
okay.
just because of a game or two or whatever little stint. Tom Brady deals with the heckling from media, and then all of a sudden, this guy is crap. You can't forget.
Oh,
He
No,
is old, but you know,
I kind of feel the personal stuff that was going on that
yeah,
became public was maybe
yeah.
could have been a factor.
I'm sure. Yeah,
what?
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Well, see
But I
that.
mean, as well as injuries and stuff like that, like his team got Godwin came back like last week, not this week, but I think the week before, right? And then like just in general, other things coming together. But yeah, it's a good early season. That's why I wouldn't even count them out like that.
No, but I'm
You
not.
know,
I'm not. I'm not saying Tom Brady's washed. I think the team is is aging. I don't think like everything's to blame on Tom Brady. No,
who else is agent?
Mike Evans is slower.
He's
Godwin is
old.
still
Mike Evans old.
Well,
he's
the
older.
one
He's
the,
not as quick. He's not getting as much
the
separation,
one thing
in
about
my
this
opinion.
game was that Tampa Bay, I finally saw like a run game. They
Yes, which
finally
is
were able to
important.
run the football.
Which
Yeah, and
that
not
they need that.
yeah, and not with Leonard Fournette, with Rashad White. And I don't know if you guys saw the play where he just
Mhm.
the run he had where I forget the player, but he just stiff armed the hell
Yeah.
out of one of the
Yeah, I saw that. That was
yeah,
pretty
you saw
brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that to me is what they need to do. They need to if they start running the football, I think the passing game's just gonna that's football 101.
Yep.
basically.
You run the ball, your passing game's gonna open up.
Yep. And they need that. Tom Brady needs that. You need at least a complimentary run game. Not not throw like 60, 70 times a game, right? You got to have some balance. And they didn't have that, like you said, with Fournette. White he's a young guy. He's quick. He can hit the openings really fast, make some plays, make people guy miss in open space. I think he's solid. I think he's going to give them a boost of energy they need. But they don't, and honestly, I don't think they have enough weapons on the outside. Mike Evans, yes, he's good. Godwin is the number one receiver.
There was a Julio Jones sighting. Don't forget him.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, are we
yeah.
forgetting the team this guy has? He still has a TC as a good team.
He does.
Well, that's going to be the trivia question for years to come. Who scored the first touchdown in Germany in NFL history?
It's gonna be Julio.
Julio Jones.
But I think the reason why the Bucks won this game is because they stopped the Seahawks run game. What did
Yeah,
Walker
that's
have?
true.
Like
Yeah. Hmm.
17 yards? That's essential to the Seahawks game. Once you
Yeah, they need
start,
to. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, they need no. They're going to be if the Seahawks going to be successful, they have to have a run game so they can open up. They need to do what the Bucks did, run the
Yep.
ball. Yeah.
Yep. And
So
that's what um who's their coach? Todd Bowles?
yes.
He came in, he game planned for them, take away the run. And it made them one dimensional because they couldn't run the ball at all. And Geno Smith is not like a stud. He's a very good quarterback, but he's not going to be able to connect on his receivers all the time, make the plays necessary. They need to run the ball and need some RPO action, get Geno a little loose as well, and then the offense opens up. They weren't able to do that. Good
Oh,
game planning.
Oh, and some historical reference. Tom Brady, the legend, continues to grow. First quarterback to start a regular season game in three countries outside of the United States of America.
Wow.
And he is actually undefeated abroad with victories in London twice and Mexico City with New England.
Wow.
So
Wow.
more history for Tom Brady, like he needed it. But
You can never get enough success.
never get enough history, of course. So moving forward, jump onto this game, and it's gonna be one. It's an NFC North game, and you
Excuse
know,
me.
look out for the Lions, 31-30, beating the Bears. I mean,
Ah,
Justin Fields just keeps running over people, but
Just
this was an entertaining game, very
it
entertaining.
was. It was.
Yeah,
But I think both of these teams have promising futures. I just don't think like right now is their time. You give Justin Fields a solid offensive line, they're going to be very problematic. Like the defense will play catch up, right? But they're give him an offensive line where you can buy him some time to make plays downfield or even like scramble. They're going to be a problem. They're already a problem now. They're not an easy out, is I guess a better way to put it.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to really chime in real quick and disagree with what you're saying. You need
Okay.
to win now. You cannot have back to back disappointing, disheartening losses like this. You can't. Another
But
great game by Justin Fields, and what you end up with the loss.
I agree.
yeah.
I think the win is necessary, but if you can't, what are you going to do? It's not like you're winning the division or you're making the playoffs anyway, right? You can do your best, but it's it's very hard to do that because there's so many teams in the NFC that are just under 500 or 500 and meddling there, right? And their division, who's in their division? The Packers and the Vikings. Are they going to beat those two teams to get to the playoffs? And then what? Face Tom Brady in the first round? I say do what you
I
can. Figure out, experiment now, see what you can get. So going into the next season, you improve your roster and get going. You could be a solid playoff team next year.
Justin Fields, Justin Fields again goes over the 100 rushing yards mark, 147. That's insane. With two touchdowns and you throw for one. And you throw for two. He runs for two, throws for two. You're putting up Super Bowl era never seen before games and their losses. Like, look, on NFL Network, Deion Sanders had this beautiful segment, 21st in Prime. The only way you can make the highlight reel is if you won the damn game. Because you know why? No one's going to care about these historic games that you're playing and setting records, but you're losing. No one's going to care.
well, you got to
I
kind of
mean,
knock the Bears a little bit because
They blew a
at
lead.
the trade deadline they did trade away
Yeah,
two big pieces there,
on their
Roquan and Smith.
defense. Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't have anybody on defense. Well, I mean, what do they have? Like I think Eddie Jackson, I think, but that's about it.
I
You
mean, could be
your
Jermaine
line,
Jackson for all I know. Eddie
yeah, you get
Jackson.
the Jackson
Yeah.
Five out there.
I mean,
They're gonna sing ABC. You're just gonna run all over me. It's like there's no one stopping. They have nobody on defense that is a
yeah.
palpable player. Their defense is terrible. That's why the Lions put up 31 points on them.
they're
I mean,
still a building team. I can't
Yeah,
expect much from them, so I wouldn't even rag on them.
yeah.
But
but
You,
then
you,
Justin
you can
Fields
get
just
ragged.
doing the
No, no,
best.
you can get ragged on when your starting quarterback runs for 147 yards and you don't get the win.
Didn't that happen to Michael Vick when he was like with the Falcons and with the Eagles?
Bro, I mean, this team was losing pretty much, or has been losing all year. The team's offense has been struggling pretty much majority of the year. Now they're just, in all honesty, I can at least say for myself, playing fantasy, I strategically traded, like picked up Justin Fields and traded him during this 3 weeks because he had plus matchups because he's going up against defenses that do suck as well. So that's why he's
Mm-hmm.
able to rush for 150 yards, a buck 50, whatever it is, right? So that's one thing. But then, two, again, I'm not gonna rag on the dude 'cause he's out here. He's out there at least doing everything he can. The Bears themselves, again, I can't even say I expected much from them this year. They're still trying to figure out a team. They did trade for Claypool, but I mean, with that, how instantaneous can that be when they
Yeah.
were already struggling? They had Komet already. Komet's had 2 good games now with Fields having these 2 good games, but again, they lose. But I don't know. I'm just saying I never really expect them to win too many games this season anyway. Maybe next year will be the year we can really evaluate them. Maybe they evaluate, get the better defense, or who knows.
No, I hear you on that. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not bashing Justin Fields per se, because
yeah,
it still is a team loss. You know,
yeah.
I'm just saying for what he did as the quarterback, he did more than his part.
Claypool definitely really hasn't done too much. He's played 2 games already for them, right? This is his
Yes.
second game. This was his
Yeah.
not his first. This was his second game with them, right?
Yes.
So, and me personally, I thought he would slide. I mean, he still has to learn everything going over there.
Man,
But like,
Chase Claypool just sucks.
like,
You could give him the playbook to hold on to until next
oh yeah,
Sunday.
you're a
He'll still
Steelers
give you a
fan, right?
subpar game.
You're a Steelers fan, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So you definitely had your fair dose of Chase Claypool.
Yeah, doing nothing.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Oh.
know.
I cried more when Juju left, but of course he got knocked out. Oh
Juju's
well.
good. He's hurt. Is he hurt again? No,
Yeah.
he's not hurt
He's
again,
hurt.
right?
No,
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 he
yeah,
got
he
hurt.
got
Yeah.
He
knocked
got hurt
out.
again.
He got hurt. He did get hurt.
Yeah, so I
So,
was saying. I feel like I saw that. That sucks.
yeah. So, well, let's ride on to our next game. The Broncos at the Titans. See what I did there? Okay.
Love the
So,
segue. Love it. Play on words.
and once again, the Broncos ride to another loss. 17-10.
Did we see that meme? Did you all you guys see that meme? It was like a meme with like all the quarterbacks, like, and one of them was like Zach Wilson.
Yes, I
Another
did. I
was
did see
like,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where it was like, or like it was like, I forgot exactly what it said. It was like, is Denver still riding out? Hey Russ, hey Russ, the Broncos still riding, or something like. And all the quarterbacks are looking at him, like it's kind of funny.
I mean, I on the CBS pregame show before this game, Phil Simms says first team to 17 wins this game, and he's right.
Wow.
Tennessee got to 17. They won this game by a touchdown, 17-10. And at this point, is there anything worse than a lemon? Because that's what Russell Wilson is.
Russell Wilson
What's
is
worse than a lemon? What's
Horse
worse than that?
season.
what's worse than a lemon?
Grapefruit. I don't know. Nah,
This man said what's worse than a lemon? Maybe
papaya.
figs.
Papaya smells bad weird. I don't know how
Oh,
anybody
for
eats
real.
papaya.
Bias
No,
smells
no.
weird.
I gotta give my man Alexander credit because he's been on TikTok. He called Russell Wilson a lemon.
Since before he was officially 11.
Yes.
He
So you got
basically
Alexander. You got to
he
get the credit for that one, man.
the sour nature
Thank you. The prophet will take the credit
Russell
for that.
Wilson.
I thank you for remembering.
I feel like Alexander's comparing like Russell Wilson to like being in a coma, being a lemon.
You
And
just
the
you
way
need to take Alex. You need to take Alexander with you when you go buy cars. That's all. It's gonna help you.
like, what's the
I'll fast
difference?
forward out in a minute.
Like, what's the difference between Russell Wilson being on the field and off the field? There is none. There is no impact.
What is
at
the
all.
difference between Russell Wilson and this M3?
One's a lemon.
I sure
I would
hope
rather-
his paycheck by
would rather
direct
drive.
deposit. Ugh. I would hate to see him go by the payroll office because if I was the owner, I'd be standing there waiting for his ass.
How long is his contract?
Woo.
Well, I know it's 245 million. I don't know what the years though. What is
165
it?
guaranteed.
This is the first year, right?
Yeah.
I
I mean, I know it hasn't been a full season
Can
yet.
he get cut?
Oh, God. That would be.
Oh, that'd be catastrophic, cap wise.
I know, right?
So, Tennessee sneaky once again. They're leading the NFC South. Excuse me, the AFC South. This one, yeah. Derrick Henry
Sneaky.
led the team in rushing.
As per usual.
Yeah. Russ did have over 280 yards passing, but
Not enough.
yeah.
We need more.
So the Broncos go down 17-10. Tennessee first place in the AFC South. Broncos Oh, they're
Broncos.
battling with the Raiders.
Broncos and
Broncos fighting for the first round pick so they could draft a quarterback to replace Russ Wilson. That's what they're doing.
so, so we go from a team that's at the bottom of the AFC West to the team that's in first place in the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs, as they took on the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. And, it's kind of like a status quo game. Kansas City wins 27-17.
It wasn't actually as bad as a game that people might have made it out. It was actually kind of competitive, but ultimately we all knew Kansas City was going to pull it out. But it was good to see at least the Jaguars put up a fight. But again, they're a couple of, maybe, let me not say a couple of years. There's maybe like 1 year away from being really, really solid.
Yo, that's one thing about football I must say, man. Just
Yeah.
say core wise, like if you have enough pieces, you got enough draft picks, and like maybe even all depends on how your management does things. You could make some changes in a year. You could
Absolutely.
definitely be a lot better in football in a year, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It's also
look at the Jets right now. They're surprising the crap out
Yeah.
of me.
The
I mean,
Giants.
I expect them to be a team like this next year, maybe. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Look at the
So like,
Dolphins. The Dolphins were terrible last season, and now look at
yeah.
them just
Yeah,
stomping people.
I mean, and not to get deep into the Dolphins, but yeah, I mean, obviously they have two great wide receivers, but look what that happens in a year,
In
right?
a year,
Just a
yeah.
year, yeah.
From 3 picks that they got from the 49ers, they're like, all right, cool, no problem, bro.
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
But you have
so
to see
speaking of the Dolphins,
wait, real quick though. But you have to see
yeah,
the
go ahead.
progression. You have to see the progressions. Like the Dolphins went all in to rebuild
yep.
the offense. You know,
Mm-hmm.
after they had
Mhm.
lost 7 in a row, then won 7 in a row, and some teams, I don't know, Jaguars, Chiefs, the Jaguars are still light years away from being on the Chiefs level. Let's be real.
Well,
To be
no,
on a Chiefs level, that's
yeah,
another thing.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
not
no
even,
one's gonna be
yeah,
on that level.
I'm not even really. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking next year, if they make the right changes, they should definitely be, like not a contender, but at
Well,
least would try to be a playoff team or
I mean,
something.
Yeah,
Yep.
honestly,
Yeah.
Buzz
they're
Lightyear ain't even on the Chiefs level, and he's even got Lightyear in his name. Like, what? I don't know.
Mahomes is out here still showing it, man.
Yeah,
Telling you, like,
I
that
mean, the
dude is
one thing
different.
the one thing you look at with the Jacksonville is that they have a division that's not really that good.
yeah.
Yes, and it's
They
winnable for
can,
them.
yeah, it is. So
Even
maybe who knows?
this season, it's winnable.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk is a good wide receiver for them. Has been great this year, but obviously they still need like another real like wide receiver, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree with you.
Like
I agree.
Definitely.
besides the defensive help, like that's the key thing that Trevor Lawrence needs.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I see Trevor Lawrence's progressions, and end game, it's like, who do you trust? Kirk, and the defenses know this. They're
I
gonna
mean, by
zero
this
in on him.
time, yeah,
Yeah,
especially by this time in the season, for sure, yeah.
yeah. So, and
You
he
know,
needs another reliable person to throw to. So, and that's why
Just
he's having these like
just
end
looking
game
at the
struggles.
number here, Christian Kirk, 105 yards receiving. So
Mm-hmm.
he's
yeah, I
doing
mean,
great this year, man. Doing great. He's doing the best he can for that young quarterback.
Yep,
well,
it's needed.
Yeah.
so Jacksonville is up in North Florida, I believe, like near Georgia.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the team that's all the way in South Florida, the Miami Dolphins, and I think the word you used was stomp.
Stomp,
Well, they
stomp it
Mm-hmm.
out.
stomped. They stomped the Browns.
They
It's like
did.
you saw a cockroach and like, get out of here. Damn,
Hmm.
it's dead now.
they they stomped them by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Nice.
39-17.
Screw the
Two
Browns. I'm happy.
Yeah. But but
I
yeah.
gotta say, I didn't expect it to be that much of like a wild, you know, affair in wildly one sided. But I still obviously expected the Dolphins to win. I just kept, I remember just I kept streaming that game on my phone real quick every time the Dolphins were on offense because I have Jalen Waddle in a couple leagues, and every
Mhm.
time I'm watching everybody else score, and I'm like but they were just scoring still. Like every time I get an alert too, I'm just like, oh man. But it was
Yeah.
like Tyreek Hill is just a real problem, bro.
Yeah.
Like now you should really see if no one really couldn't. Like now you should at least by now have to see how real he is of a wide receiver in
Yeah.
this league.
And the impact he
Like,
causes, because look at the improvement
yeah,
he caused for
yeah.
Waddell.
It's
The
Waddle,
ascension.
man.
Yeah, Waddle, sorry.
You know, he if he was here, he would be like he would tell you because everybody else says Waddle.
I thought it was Waddell, but yeah, we'll go
Nah,
with
is
Waddle.
it Waddle?
Yeah,
So it's
Jalen Waddle. Yeah.
so it's like
Well,
Waddle.
well, Chua. I'm hearing Chua's name is now in the MVP race. So
Let's not get carried away.
I mean,
let's not get. He's good, but let's not get carried away.
Chua.
Mahomes getting that MVP, man.
But the name, the one name here, the Dolphins made a trade for running back Jeff Wilson from the
49ers.
49ers,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
he's had 200-yard games back
Yeah.
to back.
Instantly, he made an impact.
Continuing to confuse us all, who's gonna run there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think that's a good thing when you have fresh backs who can, like any one of them,
it's great.
Mozart.
It's great. It's a great thing, honestly. It's a
Yeah.
great thing. If you got two, especially two, capable backs that you could just alternate with. It's a great thing.
It wears down the defenses. Wears down opposing defenses.
Oh, and speaking of wearing down, in regards to Tua and MVP consideration, this was his third straight game throwing 3+ touchdowns. So yeah,
I'm
especially
Yeah,
telling
I
you,
believe it is.
he's
I
in the
believe it.
conversation. He's
I
in the
did.
conversation.
yeah.
I know, but against who? Who did they play? The Browns, the Bears, the Lions,
Against
the
Tua,
Steelers.
these are
Come on.
NFL. These are pro teams, right? Like
I mean,
That don't mean they're
He also balled
good pro
against the
teams.
Ravens. He balled
Yeah,
against the Ravens
he
like
did.
that.
He did. He did. I'm not gonna say no, but
Before the injury and all that, he balled.
yeah. Listen, I wish him well, but listen, just relax. Ease him into the conversation. Don't. And again, I agree with Rob. If anybody
Just let,
deserves this,
let Mahomes hear that. Mahomes
yeah,
Mahomes gonna be out here throwing for 7 touchdowns.
Holmes is like, hold my
Oh, word,
bandana, bro.
word. Okay. Well, Holmes always looks like the nice guy. I bet you know when he's at home and somebody says something, he's like, "Word."
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
All right.
he's like he's like Curry. You know how Curry making those circus shots? He's like, yeah, all right, cool.
All right.
I'm gonna practice this. Watch what I pull out in the next game. That's Mahomes. Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say this game, but the next game we're gonna break down is one that one team keeps winning, the other team keeps losing. That's the Giants at the Texans. The 7-2 Giants and the 7-1 Houston Texans.
Yeah.
So Giants 24, Houston
all to say is
16.
they're due for a win.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you're gonna have to bet.
Due somewhere for a win. We have to pick the right time.
Yeah,
Well-
unless Texans decides to bench whoever they have and be like, yeah, we're just paying second string everything for that first pick. That's it.
Well, I please tell me they're these are second string guys because the team they run out there, Davis Mills at quarterback. I mean,
Oh well, then maybe third strings. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I mean, well, no, isn't like I feel with the Texans is that they give you a good fight,
Yeah,
and then like I always say, they remember who they are.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, we're not supposed to be this good.
Yeah,
Yeah, like all of a sudden their runs don't go that far.
yeah, like you'll see like stupid penalties and like. I mean, I don't know, but
they're a 3/4 team. They don't practice 4 quarters. It's just 3.
They're like, yo, wait, coach, what do we do now?
Like, coach, we don't do this in practice. What's up?
We don't do this in Houston, coach.
Yeah,
That's wild.
I mean, Saquon Barkley, 35 carries, 152 yards.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
beast.
Man, a bad man.
Speaking of MVPs, maybe
No,
Saquon,
No.
Saquon, just saying.
no.
But yeah,
Don't let
Giants win.
Mahomes hear that. He will run the ball himself. But oh, you can do that? Hold up, 200 yards rushing.
Right. So Giants go to 7-2. Now Giants have a 4-game stretch coming up here that's gonna test them a little bit. Yeah, they got the Lions this week. That's not gonna be easy.
Nope.
that is true.
Then they've got the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh
Yep.
Lord.
Can't wait to see
rough.
that.
Then they got Washington, and then they got Philly. So
It's funny how Washington has become a tough out as well. because they're playing good football on both sides of the ball.
Well, I mean, once you get rid of Carson Wentz, yeah.
Yeah, that was the problem all along. We
Yeah.
said this.
Another
No
leg.
one NFL coaches and owners. This is a disclaimer to you. This is what happens when you don't listen to our podcast. You don't get the inside information that we already have.
What information that's right in your face that says that Carson Wentz sucks. So,
Right. We would have told you not to make that trade, give up all those draft capital. Look at what you did. Look at what you did. You had Heineke, who would have did it all for you at like a third of the cost. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. Big money.
I mean, anybody whose name sounds close to Heineken, I'm with. So the Giants are 7-2, but a tough 4-game stretch coming up for them. And Houston, well, playing for that number 1 pick, apparently.
Yep.
Well, I will make a little statement real quick. I will be going to the game with my sister, Harpy's Fury, Commanders against the Giants, my first football game. So
Nice.
definitely make sure to dress warm. Thank you.
Have a
Yes,
blast.
definitely
man.
dress
It's
warm, bro.
It's gonna be a good time.
And I want to give props also to Darius Slayton, who has done a great job in the absence of Shepard, who's done for the season, sadly.
Stepping up.
Oh, and I mean, okay, I don't know how this will be happen, but how this is going to happen, but the Giants need to get rid of Kenny Galladay.
Well, I mean, they can't get rid
But
of
they
him now.
can't.
They
Nobody
need
wants
to do.
him.
They
He
need
definitely
to do.
dropped like a horrible drop.
Yeah.
Really bad. It
Like,
was like,
they hit him in the hands, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
nah, it was really bad.
it was rough, his game. Yeah, you got to do something. Make him inactive or something. I mean, come on, he's hurting his team.
If I was the Giants, I would trade him to the Jaguars.
You
Because I feel
can't-
like he would do well there. I feel like he's lost his confidence. Not that he can't
in
play.
the off season maybe.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are banking on who they traded for with Atlanta with Ridley, so they're only
Oh
hoping
yeah, they
that
did get Ridley. I forgot
Yeah.
about
yeah,
that. Yeah,
they're
so
only hoping that
yeah.
that might turn into something within the next year or two. But
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're still gonna try and get someone. I'm pretty sure they're just like, all right, until Ridley could potentially work for them, they'll probably just draft a wide receiver. But yeah, back to this though. But
Moving
like,
on.
Galladay,
Yeah.
horrible.
Moving on from
Had one good season in Detroit, and they're like, let's
he
sign him.
got paid.
What?
Yeah.
No.
I hope he invested it.
Oh. Hopefully not in Bitcoin. What's going on? Next game up on the slate, Saints at the Steelers, and Steelers get a nice little win here.
Yeah.
20-10.
Let me also say I'm tired of you, Saints. You have fooled me enough with your potential. I hate you, scumbags. I hope you lose the rest of your games. I don't care who's at quarterback. You guys disappoint me day in and day out, and you make me look stupid on my picks. I'm picking you to lose next week. I don't care who it is.
They're gonna end up putting Taysom Hill at linebacker.
Well, I don't know what they're doing.
He can run, maybe he can tackle.
So dumb.
No, that's like high school football where you go both ways. Or
Pee
Taysom
Wee.
Hill.
Yeah, Pee Wee and double AU.
Well, with that being said, being the resident Steeler fans here, yes, I will gladly take this 2010 final score victory. Let the climb to 500 begin. Welcome back. Thank you. Your presence, the fans, the energy. I felt it repping the Steel City here from New York City. Kenny Pickett with a touchdown run. I'll take it. A win is a win. As they say on TikTok.
A dub is a dub.
Sounds good.
Dub
It
is
all
a
sounds
dub.
good to me.
So, we got to move on to this guy. Battle of like ineptitude here. The next game, the Colts at the Vegas Raiders, and
Matt Ryan's back.
Oh, can I?
That was amazing.
Can I get in on the action real quick?
yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
the floor is yours.
Okay, because it's not about stats, okay? This is about character. Derek Carr, I told you in the last episode, if you lose this goddamn game, I'm coming for your head. And not only did I have the loss, but I had you crying post-game. This is maddening. One of two things. either he needs to be moved or he's not a leader. Like, I don't know what it is. He was talking about post game what it takes to win games, to be ready for games, and not being able to sleep at night. Like, his it was so eerie. But let's face it, the Raiders as an organization, toxic, negative environment, and the fact that the owner with the 2-7 record says that Rome isn't built in a day, giving Josh McDaniels the thumbs up. This organization, this team, the franchise, absolute disaster. The Derek Carr era is over as of that loss.
What
Well,
if they're
yeah.
cursed?
What?
Like, what if the franchise is
Like
cursed?
cursed
Because
by like
let's
Al
look at what
Davis?
happened. Let's look about what happened last year.
Well, look
You
up
know,
Tuck Rule. That's when it started. The
like
Tuck Rule.
Henry Ruggs.
Hmm.
Ay,
Yeah.
Oh,
ay,
Henry
ay,
Ruggs.
What
Yeah,
a
yeah.
what a
ay.
loss.
And that was last year, and right. So, like, and that probably destroyed the whole season. I would feel like if I was a Raiders player,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Well, they
So
were a playoff team last year.
you said what? They were a playoff team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, then the season wasn't even completely. That season would have been better if they had their top wide receiver. Obviously, they didn't go through what the
yeah,
trauma might have happened
yeah.
with that whole
Well,
situation.
no,
I'm not even gonna talk
no.
about it.
The
Yeah.
I saw it was on TikTok. Somebody was talking about how when Josh McDaniel, his first job as a head coach in the NFL was with the Denver Broncos, he was 6-0,
Yeah.
and then they found out that he was recording the other team's practices,
Yeah. Well,
and
now
from
maybe he's exposed. Maybe he
yeah,
can't
so
coach.
from
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
point,
Now you
he's
can't
yeah.
see ahead.
No,
Yeah.
so one of the players that was on the video was talking about how they just knew everything.
Jeez.
Like okay,
I already knew how
okay, if they
everything down to how
yeah,
players obviously lined up,
yeah,
positioned, so they can
exactly,
they can
yeah,
basically counteract everything.
yeah. And then he said once he got caught, we were like, oh damn, we're cheating, we're
Yeah.
cheaters. Yeah, so maybe he's not as good, and of
And
course he does come from the Bill Belichick tree.
I mean, Raiders defense does suck, and defense is still important.
yeah,
Like,
but
Yeah,
their offense should be like just destroying people, honestly, right? Because
well,
I mean,
well
they
we
did
did,
lose
they
Waller,
lo-
yeah.
but you got
and Renfro.
Renfro, you got Devontae,
Renfro
you
got hurt.
got
Renfro's hurt, yeah.
yeah. Well, Renfro's hurt now, but it's I also I understand how you feel, Alexander, about Derek Carr, but maybe it's coaching. Maybe the coaching is not
I
like. But
never really liked Derek Carr. I'm sorry.
I agree. I don't think
Nah,
he's it, but
nah.
I
Well,
feel like
He's like your poor man's it.
on the
yes, yeah,
Like
on the flip side,
whatever you want to compare him to. Yeah.
And I have to hold Derek
no,
Carr to the fire because, again, I don't do a lot of preseason, but when I catch those interviews and he's tired of why his name is never mentioned with the other greats, shut up. Shut
yeah.
up. This team has
You
suffered
gotta. I mean,
six
you gotta be
losses,
great.
6 losses by 7 points or less. I don't want to hear it. And three of
You
them were
gotta
double-digit leads.
you gotta make those plays.
Got
well,
to.
on on the
Wasting
flip side,
Devontae.
Matt Ryan back as the starter for the Colts,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
and
Saturday
Jonathan
pushing that.
Jonathan Taylor ran for 147 yards.
I I think. Well, I think I said last week. Well, I kind of was nervous about this game. I felt like the Colts were going to win. I didn't pick them because I didn't believe in Jeff Saturday. But what I saw, because he is an offensive lineman, what I saw was they were they were keeping the pocket pretty good. They were opening up holes for Taylor to run, which is their specialty. Let Jonathan Taylor run the ball, and then the offense opens up. And then Matt Ryan was making plays, and I was like, but again, it's the Raiders. I don't want to put too much emphasis on that. I want to see if they hold up against like other solid teams. Because this is the Raiders. Everybody's beating them. Their own fans have probably like slapped them around a little bit at this point.
Yeah, but you had Matt Ryan with 4 rushes for 38 yards. Like, yo, like, this is
Yeah.
a total inept. I'm just trying to avoid cursing. They need to go to hell. Go to hell. Go to the black hole. I wish the
Uh,
black hole
Yeah.
would literally open up and just take this franchise in their $1 billion stadium. Get them out of here.
The Raiders.
Yes.
Well, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, I've got to call someone out. I've got to call out Bill Cower. Actually, he just reminded me. So on the pregame show for CBS, he does a rant about how it's so wrong that Jeff Saturday got this opportunity ahead of other people in Indianapolis coaching staff.
I mean, that's kind of true, but he got the
I got I,
job.
I got to call him out because it was the coaching staff that led to this. Why there was
Yes,
a firing.
yes,
So if the owner wants to say, maybe we need a different direction, put a different voice in there, it's his right. I mean, just because you have friends in the room or there's this, quote unquote coaching fraternity or hierarchy,
Yeah, the old
you know,
boys network. That's what it's
yeah,
called.
yep,
yeah. You know what? I mean, Jim Irsay, the owner, I mean, he's not a saint by any stretch of the mean, but you got to have a right football decision. He made okay. It's one game. I know it's one game, but he went outside the box
yeah,
in this move here.
yeah,
So Bill Cower, you know, get that little old mentality out of your brain,
yeah.
man. You got to move forward. You see these coaches today, you know, Mike
It's
McDaniel in Miami. These guys are not football. They're stat geeks. They're nerds.
yeah,
Let's be real.
and they play the odds. They like
Yeah,
they'll go for it on fourth and whatever because it makes sense, right? Why am I gonna just punt on like fourth and whatever? Go for it if you got good field position or whatever. These guys are changing the game, and I enjoy to see it.
yeah. Got to get the game is changing. You got to get this old mentality out.
Yeah, because you're exactly right. Those guys did nothing to help that team progress in any which way. And Jeff Saturday comes in. Yeah, it's an injection of a different voice, some motivation, but we'll see where it plays out. I feel he's connected to the organization because he played for them. He was an offensive lineman for them, and who knows? Maybe they turn it around. You never know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of turning it around, we had a game out in Los Angeles, and I think I said it last week. The Rams are beginning their fade. There's no way that they're just
Yeah, they're done.
too banged up. The
They
Cardinals go in there and beat them 27-17.
they
But
stated after I told you guys I was concerned with Matthew Stafford and his
mhm,
shoulder elbow injuries. I said it was foreshadowing what the second or third week.
yep.
Yeah.
Cooper Cup ankle surgery. It's official. We could put the nail in the coffin. The Rams are done. Thank you,
Yep.
Matthew Stafford, for excuse me proving what people said. Put him on a Super Bowl winning team. He'll take you there. He won his one Super Bowl. End of story.
Yeah, but I also don't think like he's got anything else to prove. He did what he had to do,
Yeah,
and the story, right? I don't I wouldn't put pressure on him to like, hey, let's get back. No, just work your way back. And I don't know why they like forced him to play. The team around him wasn't good. You didn't have enough offensive firepower. You lost a lot on defense. You weren't going to be the same team. So it is what it is at this point. Let the guys heal. Just take your time, go into next season, and come back, rebuild.
it's
Well,
crazy that you
also,
even say that.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no. I was going to say that um he also is not going to have Cooper Cup. Cooper
Yeah,
Cup hurt his ankle,
Yep,
so
yeah,
surgery.
I yeah I would probably sit out too if I
yeah.
could.
Exactly. Why are you fighting? Yeah, the division you still may be in a position to win because it's such a shambles division. But why risk it? Right? Like, come back healthy next season and fight from there because you're not gonna beat these top teams in the NFC. You're not. You just aren't. You can't
I
even beat
might
the
end up getting
Seahawks.
some good picks out of it if you keep losing.
Exactly.
Well, they don't have picks, as they traded them all for
To win
they
now.
For
traded them. Yeah,
yeah,
so they
okay. I was gonna say I assume that might have been the case in all honesty because of who they have on their team, but yeah, all right. So yeah, no picks.
But still,
I
even
mean,
so, why risk your players' health?
Yeah, no, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
well, also injured in this game you had Kyler Murray, who didn't play because he was injured. He
Well,
had a
he didn't play
hamstring
the
injury.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely unfortunate. But hey, they still won. So,
Yeah. I,
Colt McCoy. Colt
Win is a win.
McCoy, their backup.
The
Colt
legend.
McCoy came
uh,
through.
Yes.
I didn't know Stafford wasn't going to play this game, or else I would have swapped my pick around. It was, but that's also the thing too. We kind of get screwed because when we make our picks, it's like tonight, and then
Yeah.
they'll release like the morning before. Oh, this guy isn't playing. This guy isn't playing. You're like, oh, great,
yeah.
fantastic. 2 minutes before the game, hey, the entire Raiders team is not playing because they're officially a G League team. Thank you.
They're gonna move to NFL Spain or something. Like,
They're gonna move to the
yeah,
CFL, Brock,
yeah.
or the XFL. They should do that,
Send him to
right?
Germany.
Like,
Send him to Germany.
I feel the two bottom teams, right, in the NFL should be traded down to another league, the XFL or the CFL, and then the two good teams in those leagues get a chance to come up to the big boys.
Las Vegas probably shouldn't just have a football team like that. Like, you know what I mean, like, if we really think about it, like, maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I was excited about the idea, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe they should go. Maybe they should go to Germany. I'm with Alexander on that.
Go to Germany to do what? Play soccer?
Go to Germany and
Football?
start over the whole other continent. Like,
You imagine Derek Carr kicking a soccer ball into a net? Yeah. Start a
Well,
whole different sport. Just go.
speaking of another league, I'm glad you brought it up, Dinesh. We had the conference finals in the CFL, and Toronto took down Montreal.
Nice.
And in the West, you had Winnipeg taking down the BC Lions.
So you can say they
So
pegged the Lions. Got it.
yeah, so the Grey Cup final will be the Winnipeg Blue Bombers against the Toronto Argonauts on November 20th. So make sure you're watching.
Even their names sound terrible. Like,
yo,
what type
it's
of name?
what? It's crazy. This is like
Yeah.
these are like the teams in like those like old retro games.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like not the teams in the actual league, but they had to like give you teams
It's
to
like that.
use.
Those names were
So
considered cool and put the fear into their enemies
Like
back in.
I had this baseball game for Genesis. I don't remember the name of it, but all I know is like instead of like I don't know San Francisco Giants, it'll be like San Francisco Yetis or something. Like I don't
Like,
know, like just so like
how do you
I,
have Yetis in the bay? Like,
I don't know. It's weird. Like
no, the minor league teams. I think you're talking to.
yeah. So
Oh my
yeah, so
god.
that's the Grey Cup. That's your CFL moment on the Proc and Friends Radio Hour.
it's just,
Then it's going to be Toronto and Winnipeg. And if you, I don't know, you guys want to do a podcast on that? I don't know.
No, no,
what's
we're
what's Toronto's team name again?
The
the
Toronto
Argonauts and
Argonauts.
the Lions.
Argonauts.
With the
No,
Argonauts,
Yeah,
the Toronto Argonauts and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Blue Bombers,
Blue Bombers,
Yeah.
not regular Bombers.
not
They're
Red
blue.
Bombers.
They're blue. Blue.
Winnipeg was like 15-3 this year. So yeah. Uh, Toronto 12 and
Bombers may
6.
be red, Bombers may be blue. Is that how it goes?
Damn, this is gonna be an intense finals.
I just hope ESPN2 carries it.
It might be better than
It's
watching a
probably
Raiders game, honestly.
probably like on ESPN 47.
Imagine in the middle of a Raiders game, they're like, "We now take you to the CFL finals for a more interesting game."
No, it's gonna be that's like dodgeball. ESPN 8 the Ocho. It's gonna be on the Ocho.
Ocho. Yeah, he's been Ocho.
The Ocho.
Oh
Well,
man.
well, there is one more game. There is one more game here before we make our picks. Your favorite segment, our pick segment.
Mm.
You had the Chargers heading to San Francisco, and
What?
I think San Fran's gonna win the West, and they're making their moves now.
I
Jimmy
think
G, Jimmy G, excuse me, Jimmy G.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, I mean, listen, the thing is with them, they're gonna win the mediocre division. Are they gonna make noise in the playoffs? I honestly don't know because they're gonna go as far as Jimmy Garoppolo can take them, and their passing game is just terrible. Not like they don't even have people to throw to. They have Ayuk and Debo, but it's like they're a running team. Okay, that's it. Nothing special.
And
Look,
on
McCaffrey could throw for one.
yeah,
Well,
He could do that. He could
everything.
do that every game.
they might as well just make him the quarterback at this point. Feel like this is the real reason we watch over him.
And then on the flip side, the Chargers. Well, I mean,
Can you imagine Garoppolo
what can we
running a
say?
flat?
Garoppolo running out and then running a slant or an out route, and might as well find some use for him.
I mean, Chargers have all the talent. Well, they are injured. They gotta
Yeah,
say that.
they're
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
injuries.
they
I
are
think
injured.
I think Allen's gonna be back this week. Sorry, I said this year.
they're
This week for
depleted
them.
as hell, but they're fighting, right?
Yeah.
Everybody on that team's like injured. Their coach is probably even injured.
I
From
mean,
like
they're better than the Broncos.
Who
Yeah.
everybody. The only team not better than the Broncos is the Raiders, and that's because the Raiders are playing in a different league. So
The Las Vegas Raiders of the CFL. I like that.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bring the two good teams from that league up, and then take the two bad teams down, and then those guys they'll get some confidence, and then they'll come back up, and then get beat up again.
Yeah.
Like it just be a reoccurring cycle.
Yeah. Toronto. You said Toronto Raiders?
Toronto Argonauts.
No, I'm saying if you send the Raiders up there.
Oh, if we send them on. Yeah, so we would NFL would get Toronto and Winnipeg, and we would send them Las Vegas and
Denver.
Oh,
Houston.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, Houston. Yeah, Houston's bad too. Yeah.
You have to send.
Yeah,
I
you
think
could send them and send Derek Carr to Germany.
What's happening to him? Is he just
they can figure out what to do with him? Just send him to Germany.
is he getting deported? Like his crime is being a terrible player? He just gets deported.
Man, you can't start crying like that, bro. You need to know your place.
Jeez.
let's send him to NFL North Korea or something.
Okay. All right.
So, on that note, we hope you enjoyed that Week 10 recap. Had some good games. So, gentlemen, let's look ahead to Week 11.
Oh, whoa.
Part that everybody's been waiting for.
Let's just remind everyone how we did last week. So, Dinesh,
Yeah. Terrible.
you
week.
finished 6-8.
Yep.
I went 7-7, and our winner, Mr. the Sports Prophet, 9-5 week. 2 games better than anyone else.
Wow.
So
Nice.
Alexander, I have the overall numbers. The overall winning.
Did we all get a bye week now? Besides Prakash, Prakash is probably the only person that probably hasn't missed a show. Obviously,
Yeah.
but I think we all probably missed 1 week, right? At this point.
Well,
I think
Dinesh
No,
is actually he
I
made his
filled up
pick.
my 1 week. Yeah. I
Yeah.
still go in and fill out if I miss.
Oh,
So
word! I didn't even think about that. Sorry.
It's all good.
I'm at 73-45. Dinesh, you are 65-52.
Yeah, boo.
Rob, you're 62-42.
Hmm.
And Alex is 68-36.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so
All right.
I think if we want to even out, I think we did. Dinesh and I should have a bye week at some point, and we can catch up to everyone.
Sure.
But yeah, maybe later on. No.
Okay.
Once I've secured a big enough lead,
Yeah, then that makes sense. I'm with that.
So week 11, let's get at it. Let's
All right.
schedule the Thursday night game. We finally got a good Thursday night game.
Yeah.
The
Let's
Titans at the Packers.
Well, it's only
I'm-
because the Packers beat the Cowboys.
Oh, is it really? Okay, let's see.
I think it's decent. I still think Titans are going to win. I'm
mean,
not like
It's better.
bleeding.
It's better than Panthers Falcons.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I want to take the Titans as well.
I'm gonna
All
take
right.
the Packers.
Titan.
Okay. So Alexander and Prak Titans. Okay.
Okay. Oh, the rematch. The Jets and the Patriots. Jets going to
I
Foxborough.
Patriots.
I'm I'm going Jets.
Patriots won that last game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
13
so
in
I'm
a
Yeah.
gonna say
row.
Jets.
13 in a row.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah, I'm
Jets.
going Jets as well.
Okay.
Here we got. This one scares me. This one really
I
scares me.
feel like Lions are gonna beat them, and I
Yeah.
hate it because I've just been doing safe picks and I've just been being safe. But I'm gonna go Giants with this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants.
6-8 don't sound safe, bro.
6-8 is
Sounds
that's
like
what.
you had some hot takes in six and
No,
eight.
I didn't. I played it safe, and I
Nah.
still got 6-8. That's why I usually try to like be a little.
Okay.
I'll take
Yeah, I'm
the
going to Giants.
defense.
Taking the Giants as well.
So you said the Giants are at the Lions?
No, the
Correct?
Lions are at the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants as well.
Giants.
Okay.
And we have a real doozy. I'm surprised this wasn't on Thursday night. The Bears and the Falcons.
I think the Bears pull this one out. I'm going Justin Fields.
Yeah, he'll probably run for another 160 yards.
Okay. So Alexander, you going
Wait,
Bears?
Bears at Falcons?
Sadly,
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
It's not gonna be in cold weather. I feel Fields is gonna like have a ball in that dome.
And we know that the Falcons just aren't don't really care. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Bears.
Mm. Sometimes that's the stuff that throws you off when you think they don't really care.
That is true. I mean, like the Falcons, it was just that Mariota just was forcing things. It was so stupid to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Bears don't have a good defense too, right? So Mariota's gonna have time to like make plays. I'm assuming, but I still think Justin Fields outplays him.
Definitely.
I think the Bears did just lose Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, he went on IR. Yeah.
Yeah, word. He's part of the run, even though Justin Fields runs a lot.
Yeah.
He'll make up for his
But he's
absence.
part of Yeah, I would only hope Montgomery does. That I feel like this is still kind of a tough one for me to just outright pick, but like I think logically, you guys just like how you guys just go to the Bears, they should
It's
win.
okay. Our
But
listeners have all day. Take your time. Yeah.
oh, you're right. You're right. I'm just try. I just if my Wi-Fi wasn't so slow, I could check something real quick. I just wanted to see one thing. When was the la- when was the last time the Falcons won? They lost last week.
They beat the Bucks, I
They beat the
believe.
Bucks. I think
Beat the
like
Yeah.
Bucks
before
like
that or
it was that it
something.
was like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I'll go with the Bears.
You don't
Screw
have to
it.
if you don't want to. Like it's
Nah, I'm
they
just
beat.
thinking of. So I'm trying to just consider all that. I'll just go with the Bears. Mariota does suck.
Okay. Let's see. Next one. Oh, the Browns are going to Buffalo.
I feel this one is sketchy because I feel like the Browns are a secretive team to beat the Bills.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Bills. I'm gonna go Bills because my next pick is gonna be a hot take.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bills too.
I mean, I could see the Bills. I could see the Browns and Nick Chubb getting like 14-0 in the first quarter, but
Yeah.
I don't. I gotta go. I think the Bills bounce back.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Bills.
So this one, I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it
This is
because
Eagles and Colts.
I enjoy the hot takes. I love living on the edge. I think the Colts make it 2-0 under Saturday. I think they punch the
Okay.
Eagles in the mouth.
Okay.
I really do.
That is bold.
Yeah, I feel it. Right. I watched them play. They look rejuvenated. Again, it's against the Raiders, but I feel like their run game pushes the Eagles.
All right, I'm taking the Eagles.
No problem.
Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles as well.
All right.
This one here, there's always one game where you got to go. Who cares?
This is the game
This is the game. Yeah, the Rams and the Saints.
because,
Uh,
like, if if Stafford doesn't play, the Rams still have a chance to win, and I'm just tired of the Saints at this point. Like I'm tired of their like inept ability to do anything. Piss me off.
I mean, can this game get canceled somehow? I mean, like, who really
Like,
cares about this one? But
like what are they gonna do? Line up Jason Hill at coach? Be like, okay, here we
yeah,
finally have something
what's
decent.
next?
Stupid.
Give me the Saints.
Yeah, I'll take the Saints too.
I'm going
I mean,
Rams just because I'm keeping true on my promise that I don't care who played the Saints. I'm going against them this week.
I don't. I mean, Cooper Cup's not. He may not. He's gonna be out.
No,
I
he's
know that,
definitely
Prak.
out.
Yeah.
I can't lie to myself. I
Okay.
said I'm not going to pick them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Saints. Go Saints. Outside of Cooper
Yeah.
Cup, what else do they have?
The best player is Kamara. He's on the Saints.
Yeah.
I know that. But he didn't do anything against the Steelers.
Knicks beat the Jazz. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
The Panthers and the Ravens.
I'm going Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens. And I mean, this should be yeah.
It
Commanders
should be.
at the Texans.
It should be, but like Rob said, the Texans are due for a win.
Mhm.
I don't know. The Commanders are like, I think I fear them more than I do the Cowboys, to be honest.
Commander.
Yeah, they're a tough
Yeah.
playing team.
Yeah. Give me the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Commanders too.
Okay. Oh, this is another one.
Oh, great. Like,
Oh my god.
the Raiders at the Broncos.
Oh boy.
I'm going
Well-
Broncos because the Raiders can't beat anything, even their own meat. Sorry.
Wow. Okay.
That's a
It's
big
the Raiders at
AO
the
right there. I'm like, hey yo.
That take was too hot.
That was a very hot one. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
But I'm gonna go. Let's see if the Broncos ride to a win. I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna declare this game as the upset game. I was moved by Derek Carr, his tears, and I will continue to drink more of his tears when he loses. But I'm gonna go with the Raiders to win in the hopes that they lose. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Okay.
We understood. We understand.
After getting a taste of Derek Carr's tears, I want more.
Wait, so you picked the Raiders to win, but you want them to lose?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I can go off on another episode.
Either way, he's gonna shit on them. Either way.
I'm hoping this makes it way to
You
Derek
can
Carr's.
you can really go shit on both quarterbacks, to be honest.
Honestly, like which one is good at this point? That's
Yeah.
I know I have a
What if I
lemon and a
what if I
lane.
want to say that? What if I want to say that this is gonna be a tie? Like, what if I think no matter what happens in this game, they're gonna both suck the same.
What if they both like each drop over 30 points? Like, oh my god, I don't even want to think about it.
I don't think the Broncos are capable of 30 points, to be honest.
Well, we saw what happened with Bears and Lions.
Yeah.
Don't sleep. These teams that are subpar 500 teams, they light it up for some reason when they play one another.
Yeah, but I feel like Russell Wilson right now. I mean, I would take Jared Goff over Russell Wilson right now.
I would.
Like, that's how I feel about Russell Wilson.
Woo.
So this is the Raiders and the Broncos, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We're spending way too much time on this game. I'm not gonna.
I'm sorry. I'm just like I'll go with the Broncos. They're at home, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Broncos home.
Okay. The game of the week: Cowboys at the Vikings.
Oh my
Just-
god.
Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys. This is a good one, but I'm going Cowboys.
I'm going Vikings.
Okay. You went Cowboys, Rob? Oh, we're losing.
Yeah, you know what?
You got-
Give me the Vikings too.
Okay. Cool. Split on that one. That's gonna be interesting.
And we got the Bengals versus the Steelers.
Bengals.
Going Bengals. I think
Yeah.
is Chase coming back this week?
Nah, that's too early.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's out like what,
He's
6 weeks?
Another,
He's out.
at least another
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Okay,
Yeah. He's not coming back.
sorry. Yeah,
I will pick the Steelers, but this is a upset / bias pick for me.
hey, that's fine. We support you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I want Bengals.
I'll really freak out if the Steelers get the victory, though. I'm going to go crazy.
It's a division opponent.
I believe this was the flex game. This game got flexed out.
Oh,
It was supposed to be this Sunday night game, and then they flexed Chiefs Chargers into it.
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He who
so why
makes
don't they do that with like the Broncos games? Like, what the hell is going on?
he who has the money makes the laws or rules. I forget which one.
It's all BS. Who you got,
So
Rob?
Oh, I didn't say.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you. I didn't.
I think you said Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bengals?
Bengals. Yeah, Bengals.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I said it early. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we got the Sunday night game, the Chiefs at the Chargers.
I
Chiefs.
feel like this is gonna be a shootout. It's always a shootout, even though Chiefs are banged. Not Chiefs, Chargers.
I think Mike Williams is the practice. Him and Keenan Allen are practicing this week.
Oh, Mike
So,
Williams too. I saw
Yeah.
Keenan Allen. Let me
I saw
check
Keenan
that.
Allen. Yeah, that made me make a big difference.
The Chargers.
I mean, I still go
I'll take
Chiefs,
it,
but
No, it definitely will make a big difference. So
Chiefs.
Chiefs for Prak and
Yeah,
Alex.
me too.
Okay, you
Me
too.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
last the Monday night game, the 49ers at the Cardinals.
If Colt McCoy's quarterback, I'm going Cardinals.
Wow. That's an upset.
But no, I'm sticking 49ers. I think 49ers beat them.
Yeah,
Niners.
49ers.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn, this is gonna be interesting.
All right. I mean, you know what they say: time flies when you're having fun. Can you believe it flew by this? It flew by this quickly, man.
Damn,
It's crazy.
week 11.
Yeah, week 11. Next thing you know, it'll be Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and we're gonna watch
get 3
Cowboys
games.
Giants.
Oh, yeah.
Stuffing.
A lot of games.
3 and good games. Looks and the Lions can actually maybe put up a decent performance against the Bills. Who knows?
That's also true. I feel like that is a game to watch. I mean, I think Bills are gonna win, but I still feel like it's a game to watch.
So you'll have to actually get that take next week, because next week will be those games. So for this week's edition of the Prak and Friends Radio Hour, I am Prakash with Dinesh, with Alexander, with Robbie. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode. And as always, if you want to find me, you can find us on YouTube at Prakcast. That's Prakcast, just the one word. And you can also email us at prakandfriends@gmail.com. You can tell us how great we are. I love those emails. All right, guys. Well, signing off. Good night, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Take it easy, guys.
Take care, y'all.
Good night.